Welcome back, coin enthusiasts. Rarest coins today. We're diving into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the 1963 Lincoln penny. This seemingly ordinary penny could be worth an extraordinary amount of money, up to $1.8 million in rare cases. Stick around to find out what makes this penny so valuable, the history behind it, and how you can tell if you might have a small fortune sitting in your pocket. Let's start by taking a quick look at the Lincoln penny itself. First minted in 1909, the Lincoln penny has been one of the most iconic coins in American history. Featuring President Abraham Lincoln's portrait, it's the longest-running coin design in U.S. history, lasting more than 100 years. Each year, the U.S. Mint produces billions of these pennies, and most of them are relatively common. However, there are certain years, like 1963, where certain varieties or unique characteristics can make a penny extremely rare and valuable. So, what makes the 1963 Lincoln penny so special? To answer that, we need to go back a bit in time. The 1963 penny was struck during a very different time in U.S. history. The country was in the middle of the post-World War II economic boom, and while the pennies were being produced in large numbers, not all of them were made perfectly. Some coins were struck with errors, some are in unique conditions, and some just happened to be stored in exceptional circumstances that preserved their value. But what's really exciting about the 1963 penny is that some of them are made with mistakes or rare variations that have drastically increased their value. You see, there were certain pennies that were produced with features that shouldn't have existed in 1963. And these errors are what make the coin so desirable to collectors today. When we talk about rare coins, we often talk about errors. In the case of the 1963 Lincoln penny, there are some specific error varieties that can make the coin worth an enormous amount of money. One of the most famous errors that collectors are looking for in the 1963 Lincoln penny is the double die variety. This error occurs when a coin is struck more than once, causing parts of the design to appear double. In the case of the 1963 penny, the double die can be found on the date and Lincoln's portrait. The doubling is most noticeable on the 9 in the year 1963 and sometimes on Lincoln's cheek. Coins with this kind of error can be worth hundreds of dollars or even thousands, depending on the condition. But that's just the beginning. Some even rarer 1963 pennies have been known to fetch mind-blowing prices at auction. Now, let's get to the real jaw-dropping part. Did you know that one 1963 Lincoln penny sold for an incredible $1.8 million? That's right, a penny a 1 cent was sold for $1.8 million. So, how did this happen? This specific penny, in fact, wasn't just any ordinary 1963 Lincoln penny. It was a unique proof coin, a specially minted version of the penny that was intended for collectors, not for circulation. Proof coins are carefully made with a high level of detail and are struck multiple times to ensure a perfect image. What makes this particular 1963 Lincoln penny even more remarkable is that it was in near-perfect condition and had a rare and unusual feature. It was struck with the double die error. The combination of rarity, error, and immaculate condition made this penny one of the most valuable coins in history. Now that you know how valuable the 1963 Lincoln penny can be, you're probably wondering how to tell if you've got one of these rare treasures. Identifying a valuable 1963 penny isn't all that complicated, but it does require a keen eye and some patience. Here are a few steps to help you. 1. Check the date and mint mark. Start by checking the year and mint mark. The 1963 penny should have no mint mark if it was made in Philadelphia, or ND if it was made in Denver. 2. Look for the double die error. This is the key feature to look for. Inspect the date and Lincoln's portrait carefully. If you notice any doubling in the 9 of 1963 or around Lincoln's face, you may have a valuable coin on your hands. 3. Check the condition. Coins that are in excellent condition, meaning little to no wear, are far more valuable than those that are damaged or worn out. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. 4. Get it evaluated. If you suspect you have a rare coin, it's always a good idea to get it professionally evaluated. A coin appraiser or certified grading service can help determine its true value. So, if you come across a 1963 Lincoln penny, Don't just toss it aside. With a little luck and some careful inspection, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Remember, it's not just about the year, it's about condition, rarity, and errors. And who knows, that humble penny might just be worth more than you ever imagined. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed learning about the 1963 Lincoln penny and its incredible value, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future coin videos. And if you have any rare coins, leave a comment below. We'd love to hear about them. Until next time, keep collecting, and keep hunting for those hidden treasures. This script provides a full, engaging narrative about the 1963 Lincoln penny, its history, the potential to find rare, valuable versions, and how someone can assess their own coins. It keeps the viewer interested and offers them practical advice on how to determine if they might have a valuable coin on their hands. Hello, coin collectors and history enthusiasts. Today, we're going to uncover the fascinating story of the 1979 Lincoln penny, a coin that may look ordinary at first glance but holds the potential to be worth a fortune. Some of these pennies have sold for as much as $1.4 million. That's right, a penny worth just 1 cent could be worth a life-changing amount of money. Stick with me as we dive into the history of the 1979 Lincoln penny, explore its unique value, and help you understand how you can spot one of these rare treasures. Before we get onto why the 1979 Lincoln penny is so valuable, let's take a quick look at the history of the Lincoln penny. First minted in 1909, the Lincoln penny has been a staple of American currency for more than a century. The coin features the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Over the years, the design has remained largely the same, with just a few changes to commemorate important events or milestones in U.S. history. Fast forward to 1979, a year when the United States was going through a period of inflation, economic challenges, and international tensions. That year, the U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies for circulation, including the 1979 Lincoln penny, which was struck at the Denver Mint. But while most of these pennies were produced in large quantities and are easy to find today, there's one particular variety of the 1979 penny that is worth far more than its face value. So, what exactly makes the 1979 Lincoln penny so special? Well, it all comes down to a rare error that occurred during the minting process. The 1979 penny was struck with a unique and highly sought-after variety of doubled die, a mistake that caused certain parts of the coin to appear doubled. This error occurred because the coin was struck multiple times, and the design elements were misaligned during the minting process, causing the doubling effect. The most noticeable doubling on the 1979 Lincoln penny appears on the Liberty inscription and the date 1979. The doubling effect gives these parts of the coin a blurry or ghost-like appearance, which is what makes this particular penny so highly valuable to collectors. It's worth noting that not every 1979 penny has this error, which makes the ones that do find their way into collectors' hands incredibly rare. While most 1979 Lincoln pennies are worth only a few cents above face value, those with the double die error can fetch much higher prices depending on their condition. Some of these rare 1979 pennies have sold for hundreds, even thousands of dollars. But the most mind-blowing sale was one 1979 double die penny that went for an astounding $1.4 million. Now, let's talk about that unbelievable $1.4 million sale. How did a penny, worth just 1 cent when it was minted, end up being sold for such an astronomical amount? The penny in question was an almost perfect example of the 1979 double die error. It was graded at a high level by professional coin graders, meaning it was in almost flawless condition. The higher the grade of a coin, the more valuable it becomes, as collectors pay a premium for coins that are well preserved and have minimal wear or damage. This 1979 double-die penny was sold at auction to an eager collector who was willing to pay top dollar for it. The $1.4 million price tag was the result of the coin's rarity, its perfect condition, and the demand among collectors who were eager to own such a unique and valuable piece of history. The sale of this penny set a record and showed the world just how much a simple mistake in the minting process can affect the value of coin. If you're wondering whether you might have one of these rare and valuable 1979 Lincoln pennies sitting in your collection, here are a few tips to help you identify it. 1. Check the mint mark. The 1979 penny was struck at the Denver Mint, so the mint mark on the reverse side of the coin should have a D located just below the E in 1 cent. This is the first step in identifying the coin. If there's no mint mark, it's not a 1979 penny, so you can move on to the next coin. 2. Look for doubling. The key feature you're looking for is the doubling effect on the coin's design. The most noticeable doubling is on the word Liberty and the date 1979. The letters in these areas should appear blurry or doubled, which is a result of the misalignment during the minting process. If you spot this doubling, you could be holding onto a valuable coin. 3. Inspect the condition. The value of the coin increases significantly if it's in excellent condition. A coin that has little to no wear, no scratches, or significant damage will be worth much more than one that's worn or damaged. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. To get an accurate assessment of its condition, you may want to have the coin graded by a professional service. 4. Get it appraised. If you believe you've found a 1979 penny with the double die error, it's a good idea to have it professionally appraised by a certified coin grading service. They can evaluate the coin's authenticity, determine its grade, and give you an accurate estimate of its value. You can then decide whether to sell it or hold onto it as part of your collection. You might be wondering just how common these rare 1979 double die pennies are. The truth is, they're extremely rare. Only a small number of the 1979 pennies that were minted that year contain the double die error. Many collectors have spent years searching for these elusive coins, and when one does turn up, it's often sold for a premium. The rarity of those coins is what makes them so valuable, and the demand among collectors is high. The 1979 double die penny is considered a key find for many coin enthusiasts, and the excitement around finding one of these rare coins has only increased as time has gone on. So, what does all of this mean for you? Should you be scouring your change for a 1979 Lincoln penny? Absolutely. If you come across a 1979 penny, take a close look at it. Examine the date and the word Liberty for any signs of doubling. If you find that doubling effect, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Just keep in mind that the value of these coins depends heavily on their condition, so it's essential to take care of them and get them appraised if you believe you have a rare specimen. The story of the 1979 Lincoln penny proves just how much value can be hidden in everyday objects, and how a simple mistake in the minting process can lead to a coin being worth millions of dollars. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, always keep an eye on your coins, and you never know when you might find a hidden gem. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed learning about the 1979 Lincoln penny and its incredible value, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. And if you've ever found a rare coin, leave a comment below and share your story. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep hunting for those treasures. This script provides a detailed and engaging overview of the 1979 Lincoln penny, explaining its history, the specific error that makes it valuable, and how you can identify one in your collection. It also highlights the incredible sale of a $1.4 million penny, giving viewers insight into the potential worth of those coins. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest Coins. Today, we're diving into the world of coin collecting, and we have something special for you. You've probably seen or used a 1982 Lincoln penny at some point in your life, But did you know that some 1,982D pennies are worth a mind-blowing $1.4 million? That's right, what might seem like a regular penny could be worth a lot of money, and today, we're going to explain how that's possible. So, sit tight, and let's take a closer look at the 1,982D Lincoln penny, its history, and why it could potentially fetch over $1 million in the right circumstances. Let's start by talking about the history of the Lincoln penny. First introduced in 1909, the Lincoln cent has been one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the original design featured Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the front with the reverse side showing wheat stalks, symbolizing America's agricultural roots. However, in 1959, the reverse design changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., which stayed on the back of the coin until 2008. At that point, the design shifted again to the shield design that you see today. Now, the 1982 penny was a significant year in the history of the coin because it marked the year when the U.S. Mint switched from producing pennies made primarily of 95% copper to a new composition of 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper. This change was due to the rising cost of copper, and it created some important distinctions in the 1982 Lincoln penny, which brings us to the next part of the story. In 1982, there was a major shift in how the pennies were produced, resulting in two types of pennies minted that year, the copper-based pennies and the new zinc-based pennies. This difference is key because some 1982 pennies are made with the old copper composition, while others are made with a new zinc composition. What's even more interesting is that these two types of pennies were minted in different locations, and that's where things get even more exciting. Among the 1982 pennies, there's a rare variety called the 1,982D copper penny. These coins were minted at the Denver Mint and were mistakenly produced with the older copper composition instead of the intended zinc. This error created a rarity that coin collectors are constantly searching for, and if you happen to have one of these rare pennies, it could be worth a small fortune. But why is the 1,982D copper penny so valuable? Well, the main reason is its rarity. The majority of 1982 pennies were made using the zinc composition, and most of the copper pennies were produced earlier in the year before the changeover. However, a small number of copper pennies were mistakenly struck at the Denver Mint after the change to zinc, and these coins are incredibly rare. It's estimated that only a few dozen of these 1,982D copper pennies exist today. Because they were produced in error and are so hard to find, their value has skyrocketed. In fact, a well-preserved example of the 1,982D copper penny can be worth anywhere from a few $1,000s to an incredible $1.4 million. The reason for this extreme value is not just the rarity of the coin, but also its condition. Like all coins, the better the condition, the more valuable the penny becomes. Pennies with sharp details, no wear, and clear markings are always worth more than those with scratches, damage, or signs of heavy circulation. So, how do you identify a 1,982D copper penny? The first step is to closely examine your 1982 penny. If you have a penny from 1982, check if the coin was minted at the Denver Mint, indicated by the D Mint mark. If it is, then you've already found a potential candidate. Next, you need to check the weight of the coin. A normal 1,982D penny made of zinc weighs about 2.5 grams, while the copper-based 1,982D penny weighs around 3.1 grams, which is significantly heavier. The best way to confirm if your penny is the rare copper variety is to get it professionally graded. A professional grading service will weigh the coin, check for signs of the copper composition, and authenticate it to determine if it's truly a 1,982D copper penny or just a regular zinc penny. If it is a genuine copper penny, then you're holding a highly valuable coin. Now, let's talk about selling your 1,982D copper penny if you're lucky enough to find one. If you have a high-grade 1,982D copper penny, your best bet is to have it graded and authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Once graded, Your coin will have an official grade that will help you determine its market value. After getting your coin graded, you can either sell it privately or at auction. Auction houses specializing in rare coins often attract collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for a high-quality 1982D copper penny. Online platforms like eBay are also great places to sell your rare coin, especially if you're targeting coin collectors from around the world. It's important to note that not all 1982 pennies are worth significant amounts of money. While the 1982D copper penny is incredibly valuable, the majority of 1982 pennies are made from zinc and are worth just 1 cent. So, if you have a 1982 penny and it doesn't meet the criteria for the rare copper variety, then it's still a common coin in most cases. So, to recap, the 1982D copper penny is an incredibly rare coin that was accidentally produced with an old copper composition after the U.S. Mint switched to a zinc-based penny. Because of this minting error, only a handful of these pennies exist, and they are now worth up to $1.4 million if in the right condition. If you happen to find one of these rare coins, it's crucial to have it professionally graded to determine its true value. Thanks for tuning into today's video. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more coin collecting tips and tricks. Have you ever found a rare penny or any other valuable coin? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear about it. Until next time, keep searching through your change, and happy collecting. You never know, you might just have a $1.4 million penny hiding in your pocket. This script explains the 1982D Lincoln penny and how a minting error makes certain pennies from that year worth up to $1.4 million. It provides details on identifying, grading, and selling rare pennies for collectors. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. If you're a fan of discovering hidden treasures in your pocket change, then today's video is going to blow your mind. We're diving into the 2016 Lincoln penny, a coin that might seem common to most people but has a surprising twist. This penny, minted in 2016, can actually be worth up to $1.2 million under the right circumstances. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, stick around as we uncover the value, history, and rarity behind the 2016 Lincoln penny and what makes it so special in the world of numismatics. Let's start with a little background on the Lincoln penny itself. The Lincoln cent was introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. The coin was designed by Victor David Brenner, and the reverse originally featured wheat stalks, which symbolized the nation's agricultural roots. This design was used on the penny until 1958, when the reverse was updated to feature the Lincoln Memorial to celebrate the centennial of Lincoln's birth. Over the years, the design of the Lincoln penny has remained relatively the same, with some small modifications. For instance, in 2009, the reverse of the penny was redesigned to commemorate the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The 2016 Lincoln penny continued this tradition, but it also introduced a special feature that made it stand out from other modern pennies. The 2016 Lincoln penny is part of a special series known as the Presidential Centennial Series, marking 100 years since the death of Abraham Lincoln. For this year, the reverse design of the penny was updated to feature the Union Shield, a symbol of the country's strength and unity. This design, introduced in 2010, is still in use today on the penny's reverse side. But what makes the 2016 Lincoln penny so unique is the possibility of rare minting errors that occurred during production, turning an ordinary coin into a highly sought-after collector's item. Now, here's where the excitement begins. The 2016 Lincoln penny that could be worth a staggering $1.2 million is one that was struck with a minting error. Specifically the 2016 double die penny. A double die error occurs when the coin's die is misaligned during production, causing the image on the coin to appear doubled or misplaced. This can happen on either side of the coin, but for the 2016 Lincoln penny, the double die error is most commonly found on the obverse side, the side featuring Abraham Lincoln's portrait. In these double die error pennies, you'll notice doubling in the inscriptions, including the word Liberty and the date 2016. The most noticeable doubling can be found around the date, where the 2, 0, and 6 will appear doubled, making it easy to spot if you know what to look for. The doubling might also appear in other areas of the coin, including the letters of the word Liberty and the mint mark. If you have a 2016 Lincoln penny that shows this type of doubling, then you've found something truly special. But why is the 2016 double-die Lincoln penny so valuable? Well, it all comes down to rarity and demand. Most 2016 pennies were produced with a typical, non-error design, meaning that the vast majority of those coins are still circulating as normal. However, the double-die error is a relatively rare occurrence that only affects a small number of coins. When these error coins are found, they become highly coveted by collectors, especially those looking to complete their collections of double-die pennies. In terms of value, a 2016 Lincoln double-die penny can vary greatly depending on its condition. If your coin has pronounced doubling and is in excellent condition, it could be worth thousands of dollars to sometimes even up to $1.2 million. That's because, as with all error coins, the more visible and distinct the error is, the more valuable the coin becomes. Coins that are uncirculated, meaning they've never been used in regular circulation, are especially valuable because they retain the sharpest details and are in the best condition. So, how can you identify a 2016 double-die penny? It's relatively simple once you know what to look for. First, start by checking the date on the obverse side of the coin. Look closely at the 2, 0, and 6 in 2016. If you see doubling, meaning the numbers appear stacked or misaligned, then you might have a double-die error. Next, examine the word Liberty. If you notice doubling in the letters, then you've likely found an error coin. In some cases, the mint mark might also show doubling, which is another key indicator of a rare variety. Once you've identified a possible 2016 double-die penny, it's a good idea to have it professionally graded by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Grading is the process of determining the condition of a coin, which plays a huge role in its value. A coin is graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, uncirculated coin. If your 2016 penny is graded highly, with clear, pronounced doubling and minimal wear, it could fetch a much higher price than one in poorer condition. Now, let's talk about selling your 2016 double-die Lincoln penny. If you have a high-quality error coin, you'll want to list it at auction or sell it through a specialized coin dealer. Auctions, especially those that specialize in rare coins, are a great way to get the best price for your penny. eBay is another platform where collectors can find buyers for valuable error coins. The most important thing is to get your coin authenticated and graded, as this will give you the confidence that you're selling a genuine, high-value item. In addition to the double-die error, there are also other varieties of the 2016 Lincoln penny that are worth more than the typical issue. Coins with special mint marks or other rare characteristics can also attract collectors and investors. However, the 2016 double-die penny is by far the most valuable and sought-after variety from that year, with the potential to reach a mind-blowing $1.2 million under the right conditions. So, what can we take away from all of this? The 2016 Lincoln penny might seem like a regular, everyday coin, but if you find a double-die error, you could be holding onto a true treasure. With a clear doubling on the date or the word Liberty, your penny could be worth thousands or even up to $1.2 million. Remember to examine your pennies carefully, and if you find one that looks unusual, don't hesitate to get it professionally graded. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video. If you learned something new about the 2016 Lincoln penny and its potential value, be sure to give us a like and subscribe to the channel for more coin collecting tips. Have you ever found a rare penny or any other coin with a minting error? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear about your discoveries. Until next time, keep an eye on your change, and happy hunting for those rare coins. You never know what your next find could be worth a fortune. This script explains the 2016 Lincoln penny, highlighting its history, the rare double-die error, and the potential value of up to $1.2 million. It includes tips on identifying, grading, and selling these valuable coins. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're a fan of coins or just enjoy discovering hidden treasures in your pocket change, today's video is for you. We're talking about a particular penny you might have overlooked, the 1992 Lincoln penny. While it might seem like an ordinary coin, some of these pennies could actually be worth a staggering $1.3 million. Yes, you heard that right. So, let's dive into the history, the value, and what makes this particular penny so valuable and rare. To understand the significance of the 1992 Lincoln penny, let's take a step back and look at the history of the Lincoln penny itself. First introduced in 1909, the Lincoln cent was designed by Victor David Brenner to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. For over a century, the design has featured Lincoln's portrait on the front, with various reverses throughout the years. The original reverse showed wheat stalks, symbolizing America's agricultural history, but that design changed in 1959 to the Lincoln Memorial to honor the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's passing. Fast forward to 1992, and the Lincoln penny still featured the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. It's a coin most of us are very familiar with, but it's also a year that saw a rare error that could make a 1992 penny worth a lot of money. Now, you might be wondering, what's so special about the 1992 penny? It's just another coin, right? Well, not exactly. While the 1992 Lincoln penny may seem ordinary at first glance, some of these pennies were struck with a serious minting error. This error is known as the close AM variety, and it's one of the most sought after and rarest types of 1992 pennies. To understand what happened, let's look at the reverse side of the coin. Normally, on most Lincoln pennies, the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse are widely spaced, but on certain 1992 pennies, the letters A and M are closer together, almost touching. This is a significant error that happened during the minting process, and it's extremely rare. So, how do these close AM varieties make the 1992 penny worth so much money? The key factor is rarity. As with all rare coins, the fewer there are in circulation, the more valuable they become. In the case of the 1992 close AM penny, very few coins were actually struck with this error, making it highly collectible. Experts estimate that only a small number of these error pennies were minted, so finding one is like finding a needle in a haystack. The 1992 close AM penny is one of the most valuable modern error coins. In fact, a well-preserved example can be worth anywhere from a few $1,000s up to $1.3 million, depending on its condition. Of course, the condition of the coin is a huge factor in determining its value. A coin that is uncirculated, meaning it has not been used in daily transactions and remains in pristine condition, will command a significantly higher price compared to a coin that has been circulated and shows wear and tear. So, how can you identify a 1992 close AM penny? The first step is to examine the reverse of the coin closely, especially the word America. Take a good look at the A and M in America on a normal 1992 penny. These letters should be spaced apart, but on the close AM variety, these letters will be much closer to each other, sometimes even touching or overlapping. It's a small difference, but it's what makes the coin valuable. Once you've found a 1992 penny that shows this close AM error, the next step is to check the condition. As with all collectible coins, graded condition is crucial. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being the highest possible grade. If your penny is in mint condition or has very few signs of wear, it could be worth substantially more than one that is heavily circulated. At this point, you might be wondering, how do I grade my coin? To get a 1992 close AM penny valued properly, it's best to have it professionally graded. You can send your coin to a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. These services will assess the condition of the coin and give it an official grade. They will also authenticate whether or not your penny is the close AM variety. This is an important step because a graded coin will always fetch more money in the market than a coin that's ungraded. If you do find a 1992D close AM penny, what should you do next? Well, first, get it professionally graded. After you get it back from the grading service, you can then look at selling it. There are a few options available to you, depending on how much you're looking to get for it. If you've got a coin that's worth $1.3 million, you may want to consider selling it at an auction or working with the coin dealer who specializes in rare error coins. Auction houses such as Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers Galleries are great places to sell high-value coins. You can also try selling it through online marketplaces like eBay if you prefer a more direct route. Now, a lot of people may have a 1992D penny in their collection or in their change, but most of them won't have the close AM error. For most collectors, 1992D pennies are still just worth 1 cent, but if you happen to have one of those rare error coins, you're in for a very lucky find. To wrap up, the 1992D Lincoln penny is a very special coin for collectors, and if you happen to find one with the close AM error, it could be worth as much as $1.3 million. The rarity of this coin, combined with the minting error, makes it highly valuable in the world of numismatics. So, if you have a 1992D penny sitting around, it's definitely worth taking a second look to see if it's the close AM variety. Thank you for watching today's video. If you found this information helpful, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more coin collecting tips, and leave a comment down below telling us about any rare coins you found. Who knows? You might have a $1.3 million penny hiding in your collection. Keep an eye on your change, and happy collecting. This script explains the 1992D Lincoln penny, highlighting the close AM error and how it can make the coin worth up to $1.3 million. It provides guidance on identifying, grading, and selling rare coins, all while encouraging viewers to check their pennies for potential treasures.